Hi, here we go. How's it going? Lilies, hello. It is 8 o'clock. Here I am on Monday, as promised. So, I hope that I can see questions as they come in. I hope I have this configured correctly. So, here I am to do a video with you guys. You can ask me questions about Rogue, the Rogue of Fifth Avenue. You can ask me questions about writing. You can ask me anything you want to know. I'm already hearing notifications, which I can't see. So does that mean I'm not going to be able to see comments? Do we hate Facebook yet? Yes, we do. Okay, so I don't know, you guys. I hope I can see questions when they come up. No, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. So if I can't, I don't know what to say. This will be really short and really boring. But, you know, I've got my margarita. I'm ready to chat. It is a little more than a month since Rogue has been out. So the response to the book has been really fun. I have to say that it was a blast to write. It is my longest book to date. How do I change it to see? Okay. Huh. Whatever. I thought maybe it was the event logs. No? I don't know. Somebody better comment soon and let me know if you guys can see it. So Rogue has been out for a little more than a month. It was my longest book to date. I had a blast writing it. I didn't end up cutting all that much from it. How I submitted it to my editor is pretty much what you guys got. She said it was one of the cleanest manuscripts she'd ever seen. She had hardly any notes on it, and she really loved it. So I included some stuff in the back of the book as far as author's notes, like things that I used as inspiration and where sort of the ideas from the book came from. Researching the legal stuff was not fun, and this book actually got me kicked off jury duty, which maybe I'll tell that story if you guys want to hear it. Researching the legal stuff was fun. I don't know anything about, you know, I'm not a lawyer. I don't play one on TV. My grandfather was a lawyer. My uncle is a lawyer. But, you know, that's as far as I got. So I had a lot of help on a lot of the legal stuff, which there are, in case you don't know, a lot of lawyers in Romancelandia. So that was fun because I got to reach out to some authors I don't know, and I got to know them over the course of writing the book, and they helped me shape a lot of the courtroom scenes. So I even, you know, wrote the dialogue and then sent it to one of the lawyers and said, you know, is this believable? Because, you know, my husband and I just basically went off what we knew kind of from TV. And she was like, well, you know, you would do that a little bit, but more, you know, you're trying to lead them into saying what you want them to say. And so that was fun. So they helped me a lot with, hi, Lori. Hello. Yes, so I can see comments. Thank goodness. So they helped me a lot with framing the examination, the cross-examination, the defense strategy in the back of the book. So I don't know. That's kind of rogue. It, yeah, like I said, it's my longest, and I had a blast writing it. It was pretty fast to write it. So, so next, after Rogue, coming out at the end of December, is The Prince of Broadway. And that will feature the second Green sister, Florence. I guess I should talk about the inspiration for the series. The Uptown Girls is based on the Schuyler sisters of Hamilton. So there are 3 wealthy sisters who live uptown who go downtown slumming in New York City, which was a very popular pastime in the Gilded Age. The wealthy people took, you know, buses, basically. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. They all came downtown and went to the opium dens and the tenements and the saloons and the dance halls, because that was, you know, that's where all the action was. So that was the idea for the series, that there are these three wealthy uptown sisters who come downtown to go slumming, and they all fall in love with guys from the wrong side of the tracks. So the next book is The Prince of Broadway. It's the second Green sister, the middle sister, Florence. I had an aunt, Florence. So I'm betting that I'm going to get some pushback on the name, because I don't think Florence is a really common heroine name in romance, but I had an aunt, Florence. So if anybody doesn't like it, that's too bad. So her name is Florence, and she's going to fall in love with the casino owner that we meet in Rogue, Clayton Madden. And I've just finished Clay and Florence's book, and my editor loved it, and she said there is one scene in there that's going to make everybody lose their minds. So I knew exactly what scene she was talking about when we had this conversation. So I was not surprised, and I was glad to hear that, you know, she thinks readers will like it. Melanie says, that's cool, having additional info at the end of the book. I wish more authors would do that. I know, I do as well. And I always do that because I like, first of all, I want to head off any questions or problems that somebody may have, something they're questioning me on, like, oh, there couldn't have been a female architect in the Gilded Age. Well, let's talk about Julia Morgan, you know, and stuff like that, where I can say why I've made the choices I have, and the real history that I've used to influence the plot and the characters. So I could probably have author's notes that go on for pages and pages and pages and pages, but I don't. I try to keep it fairly short. So yeah, in Rogue, it was like the Legal Aid Society, some of the places that I found, some of the inspiration for some of the characters. The Bronze House, the gambling casino, is based on a real casino that was at Broadway, and I think Broadway and 33rd, called the House with the Bronze Door, and it literally had a bronze door, and it was the poshest casino in New York during the Gilded Age. So things like that I know, you know, I just want to let people know, like, here's the real history behind what I've done. So yeah, my author's notes are always chock full of info, and hopefully I can head off any dissenters who think that I've just made up something that just is too fantastic to even be true, which sometimes is, you know, sometimes that happens, but not all the time. So Prince of Broadway, end of December, is Florence, the middle sister, who has a little bit of, like, she feels like she never fits in her family. Like, her older sister is the father's favorite and is the one who's going to get married. And the younger sister is kind of a do-gooder, and she's the mom's favorite. And so the middle sister feels like she just really doesn't fit in with her family. You know, she's not traditional. She's the one that's hiding erotic playing cards under her bed. And she, she just knows that the traditional path of marriage is not for her. Mamie, the oldest sister, who's in The Rogue of Fifth Avenue, is more traditional. I mean, she's the oldest sister. If you have seen Hamilton, you know that Angelica is the one that says, I'm the oldest, I'm the prettiest, I'm the wittiest, I'm the one that has to marry, that has to marry for money. I have to make a good match. And that's sort of Mamie, is Angelica Schuyler. And so she is betrothed at a very young age to the son of a family friend. The father feels very strongly about having these two get married. And so Mamie's prepared to do her duty and marry this guy, after she's kind of lived the life she wants to live. And then she meets Frank, the hero. And Frank just can't leave her alone. And so that's sort of Mamie in a nutshell. But Florence is a rebel from the word go. And Justine is the third sister, the youngest sister, Peggy, if you will, if you know Hamilton. And Justine is the heroine of the third book, which is tentatively titled The King of Manhattan. And that will, I think, comes out in July, end of June, July 2020. And they're just starting talks about what the cover is going to look like now. And I can't even fathom that we're now at this point in the series, because I feel like the first book just came out and already we're planning the cover for the third and the last in the series. So I have tried in both Rogue and in Prince to bring back, if you have read what was the name of the last series? If you've read the last Avon series, which was A Daring Arrangement, A Scandalous Deal, A Notorious Vow, and I can't remember why I can't think of the name of that series. If you've read that series, I have tried in Rogue, Prince, and the book that I'm writing now, which is King of Manhattan, to bring in characters from those books into the next series. So you'll see like old familiar faces in the current books, which I hope you guys like. So like Julius Hatcher, and I'm trying to think who else I worked in. Julius, you're going to see quite a bit of, I think, in King. I don't know. So anyway, and Frank Tripp, of course, who had played a big part in the first series. And The King of Broadway features you'll meet him in Rogue if you haven't read it. He is Jack Mulligan. He is basically the kingpin of New York City. He's the criminal mastermind. He is he's the most infamous criminal in town. I think I said at one point that, mothers tell their children stories about Jack Mulligan, that he's a threat. Like, Jack Mulligan's going to come and take you away if you don't straighten up and fly right. Like, he's like the boogeyman, basically. So that's the hero of book 3. So I'm very excited for that. So, I don't know. Is that it? Do you guys have any questions for me? What do you think? I'm trying to think. Oh, so the next series. All right. So, because everybody always asks me, what are you working on? I think that was one of the other questions from when I posted that I was going to do the live video. What am I working on? So, okay. So right now on my plate, I have to think about the cover for book 3, because they want to know character descriptions, title, blurb, and what I'm envisioning for the cover for book 3. That's currently on my plate. Also on my plate are developmental edits for The Prince of Broadway, which I like to reread the whole thing when I do developmental edits. And I read every word, every line. I make sure that it makes sense, that every word should be there, that the flow, you know, I'll read in my head, I'll read it all to make sure that the sentences flow, word repetition, that kind of stuff. So I spend a lot of time in developmental edits, even though my editor hasn't given me all that many notes. Her only note is basically, we need to kind of fix the conflict at the end. And she had a great suggestion how to do that. So I may take up her suggestion, just if I can't think of something better. So right now I'm going word by word through The Prince of Broadway. I'm also drafting the first draft of The King of Manhattan, which I owe to my editor September 1st. So that is like currently what I'm working on. But if you guys want to hear what's coming up, what I'm thinking for the next series, I can get into that too. So, okay, it's really hot in here. I needed to take a drink. All right, so the next series, because I know people were asking about that too. The next series, you guys, is going to be Gilded Age Baseball. For those of you who don't know, New York in general and New York City was the epicenter of sort of the formation of baseball as we know it in the United States. I believe the first organized baseball game was in Madison Square Park, which is at like 5th Avenue and 23rd Street, 24th Street, 25th Street. So baseball really takes shape in New York City and New York. And that's what I'm thinking for the next series. And my editor seems really excited about it. So, and Twitter seemed really excited about it. So the tricky part is facial hair. The tricky part is a lot of those early baseball players had like the really like bushy mustache. So I promise I won't go too crazy with the facial hair. A little facial hair is okay, but a lot of facial hair is not great, I don't think. So like no handlebar mustaches or like bushy sideburns, but maybe like, you know, some scruff and a goatee. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But that's the next series is going to be a Gilded Age Baseball series. And I haven't really sat down to think beyond that. Other than I'm thinking, you know, it would be great to have a woman who would like to play baseball in the mix somehow. I know there were women who either went undercover as men to play or tried to play. I have to research it, but it would be great if there were a woman owner of a team. It would be great if there were some kind of a journalist, like a, you know, yeah, a baseball sports journalist covering games at the Polo Grounds. So I don't know. That's like just roughly what I've got percolating in here, but I can't really think about it until I get through the first draft of The King of Manhattan, which hopefully will be soon. So I don't have all that worked out yet quite either. So sometimes it's hard. I mean, some books come to me completely fully formed and I'll know the beats ahead of time, and some books I just have to be in it to figure out the beats. The King of Broadway, I sort of need to be in it, I think, to figure out the beats. It's going to be hard to redeem a criminal hero, but hey, you know, aim high. I mean, that's what I say. if I can't do it, I can't do it. My editor, I'm sure, will let me know. But I like the idea of redeeming a criminal hero. The first series were kind of all, you know, they were like millionaire heroes who, you know, were basically good guys. But the next series, they're not really good guys. They're kind of bad guys. So, hi, Yvonne. And Becky wanted next series scoop. Well, you just got it. I think yeah, it's going to be baseball. I don't have more information other than that. So yeah, the current series, they're basically all kind of criminals and not really great guys. The baseball series, the baseball players from the early era of baseball in the Gilded Age, these guys were characters. I mean, just characters. They were also celebrities. There's one baseball player from the turn of the century who went to the White House like 5 times to meet different presidents. I mean, he was a household name, and I'd never heard of him. So yeah, researching the baseball stuff is going to be really fun. There was a guy whose name was Three Finger Mordecai Brown, who lost fingers in, I think, a thresher accident as a child. So he, when he threw a baseball, because of his finger placement, he could throw a baseball that was like a curveball and a slider, and it was unhittable. So stuff like that is super interesting to me. Hello, Mia. Hello. Stuff like that is super interesting. So I hope to work in some real baseball history in that series. It'll be fun. But you know, those guys didn't really make a lot of money. There wasn't a lot of money to be made, and not like today's baseball players. So, but it'll be fun. So, what else? What else does everybody else want to know about what's going on? I think I've like covered a lot in 22 minutes. I'm not sure how much longer I can talk. Any questions, you guys? Put them in the comments. I will answer them. What else can I tell you guys? Nobody has any questions. All right. Any books you guys are reading that you love? I have a copy of it on my floor, but I just got an arc of Sarah MacLean's Brazen and the Beast, which is really, really good. So if you haven't pre-ordered it, you're gonna love it. I loved the heroine of that book. It's very much like all Sarah's books, there's a sense of seize the day in it, which I really love. Like, life is going to pass you by if you don't, you know, live for yourself and no one else, which I think is an important message in romance that women don't hear often enough. We generally live for other people, not ourselves. And so I really love that about Sarah's books. So if you haven't pre-ordered Brazen and the Beast, you should pre-order it because it's really, really good. What else? Is anybody else reading anything I need to read? Robin Levitt has a Sex Planet book coming out next week that everybody should read because it's really good. I've read that. I'm trying to think what else I've read recently. It's really good. I've been rereading a lot of books because that's what I don't want to stay up at night. I tend to reread a lot of books. So like I'm rereading some Immortals After Dark. I'm rereading Kristen Ashley. I'm rereading Vi Keeland. Not a lot of historicals because I don't read a lot of historicals when I'm drafting a first draft of my own historical, which I know sounds weird, but I just don't want that in my head. Brazen to the Beast is like the first historical I've read in a long time, because I just don't want somebody else's words in my head when I'm sitting down trying to write. So it's easier for me to read contemporary and paranormal, or like a research book when I'm actually drafting a novel. But as soon as I finish the draft, then I'll read, you know, whatever I want. So trying to think what else I've read. I don't know. You guys should make recommendations to me. What else? Okay, so Yvonne asks, any more in the 400 series? And that's the name of the last series that I couldn't remember, the 400 series. How sad is that, you guys? It's crazy. There are a lot of books, and I just cannot remember all the details of all of them. So, Yvonne, any more in the 400 series? No. But the characters from the 400 series will cross over into the current series, which is the Uptown Girls. So it's really like a merging of those two worlds. Because I wanted to, you know, like Eva Mansfield is an architect, and that became important in Rogue. And Julius Hatcher is a, you know, an investor and a financier, and that's going to be important in The King of Manhattan. So a lot of those characters will carry through into the Uptown Girls, because I always think that's fun in books where, you know, where you see characters from other, Sarah McLean does that a lot, where you see characters from other books, you know, popping up in another book. So yes, there will be lots of characters showing up in the Uptown Girls that you guys will recognize, and hopefully you'll find that fun. Mia asked, do I have my Rita dress? So just to remind everybody who doesn't know what a Rita is, so A Scandalous Deal has been nominated for a Rita Award, which is RWA's Oscar. It is, you know, it's fan voted on as of now. You know, readers vote on their favorites, and so A Scandalous Deal got nominated, which I'm really excited about, in a long historical category. I have two options of things to wear. So I have a dress. Somebody gave me like this really nice floor length dress that's sleeveless that happens to fit me, and gave it to me for free. So I'm like, cool, it's a Calvin Klein dress, free. I think I might wear that. The other thing that I might wear is my husband gave me one of his old vintage pinstripe suits. It's this dark navy pinstripe suit, double-breasted, that is like wicked cool. And I'm having it, I'm meeting with the seamstress this week to see if she can alter it for me and how quickly she can do it. And if she can get it done in 2 weeks, which is when the Rita ceremony is, it's 2 weeks this Friday, I will wear the double-breasted suit, I think, to the Rita Awards. So that's more than you wanted to know probably about my Rita costume, but now you know. So hi Lisa Marie, hello. Okay, so I know Yvonne is sad the 400 series came to an end, but like I said, the Uptown Girls is really just a continuation of the 400 series. Um, okay, Evie Drake's Starts Over is really good so far. It's a modern day baseball hero. That's from Becky. I like baseball books a whole lot. I like baseball. I coach 2 softball teams. My daughters both play softball. I like baseball a whole lot. So I like baseball books. I'm trying to think. Hasn't, God, I can't remember her name. She has the really, really super hot covers with all the sports heroes. Her name begins with a J. I've read all of her sports hero books. So thank you, Lisa Marie. She says your series are amazing. So hello, Luz. Hello. Thank you for the kind words. And thank you, Lisa Marie loves the Gilded Ladies. Yay. I hope to keep writing them. It's a whole lot of fun for me. So, yeah, the 400 series, most, just so you guys know, like most contracts with publishers are in 3s. So you'll sell, you know, a 3-book series. That's very, very common, especially with HarperCollins Avon, which is who I'm published with. So most every series is, you know, 3 books. So there's really not much I can do about, unless you're Julia Quinn and, you know, you have a family like the Bridgertons where you can do, you know, 11, 12 books out of it. But that's so, so rare, you guys, so rare. So, yeah, most romance series are sold in 3s. And I knew, you know, I knew the 400 series would only be 3. And Uptown Girls will only be 3, and the baseball series will only be 3. So that's just how it goes. So unless I can come up with an idea like the Bridgertons, I don't know what to say. Lisa Marie thinks that I could write women in the 1920s. I would love to write a romance series set in the 1920s. I think in American history, the 1890s and the 1920s are the 2 decades that are the most interesting. The 1890, they're very similar. I mean, there's a lot of money. There's huge technological advances. Women are experiencing freedom, sexual freedom, independence in ways that they haven't ever before. If you think back to the 1920s, that's when, you know, the flapper dresses and women didn't wear bras anymore like they had in the past, like the heavy corsets and stuff like that. They really, I mean, just as far as women's fashion, it's a huge shift. Women were at speakeasies, they were out at bars, they were, you know, you didn't need an escort anymore. The 1920s is a really, really interesting time period in American history. And had it not been for the Great Depression, which threw everything back just, you know, decades, it really set women's independence back. Who knows where women would be today. I mean, it really, you know, you have to think like maybe we wouldn't, you know, have needed like the women's liberation movement of the 60s and 70s, because it would have happened in the 20s and in the 30s. But, you know, the Depression hits, men need jobs, men have to provide for families, women have to now take a back seat. There's just not the independence and freedom anymore that there was in the 1920s. And plus, like, all the bootlegging and the rise of, you know, the mob and prohibition. I wrote my senior thesis on prohibition, so I could go on and on and on. Yeah, I know a lot about prohibition. So yeah, I love the 1920s, but I have to tell you that not many romance readers read it. I have even had people tell me to my face, or rather ask me, excuse me, when are you going to start writing Regencies again? Because my first series was set in Regency, England. And I have to tell them, well, I hope never, but maybe someday I will. And they all say, oh, I really liked your Regencies. I can't read anything set in America. I hear that a lot. And I always ask them why. And it's usually the same answer. And it's because they say, I just can't romanticize American history the way I can the British history, because I don't know the British history. And I always say, do you really think you know American history? Because I bet you don't. But that invariably leads to, an uncomfortable moment for everyone. Yeah, I hear a lot, that people just don't want to read stories set in America. We think we know our history so well. We've been learning it since we were in kindergarten. And it feels like we know it, and we're not proud of a lot of it, but we don't know it. I mean, that's the more I write historical romance, the more I learn that we don't know history at all in America. We know, the white male cishet version of history that, has been recorded because that was what was acceptable to record. We don't know a lot about, what women were doing and what people of color were doing, and other marginalized groups, because that just wasn't recorded. And it wasn't deemed important by history books and by teachers. And I think that's changing a little bit, which is nice. But I feel like, people have this idea of English history that's just they think it's just so pure and so, fantastic. And it's just not real. I mean, do they not know how the Dukes made their money? The Dukes made their money in the sugar trade of the West Indies, which was the biggest human rights, travesty of history. So anyway, don't get me started. All I can tell you is I would love to write the 1920s. I don't think anybody would buy it and read it. And I don't think any publisher would put it out. So maybe that's like something I could do independently. But yeah, I don't know that there's a market for it right now. So that's hard truths with me, as much as I would love to do it. And if you like 1920s, read Jen Bennett. Has a 1920s ghost, like paranormal romance. Bennett is her last name. And Alyssa Cole has a 1920, I think it's 1920s novella, Let Us Dream. Isn't that 1920s? Who else has written 1920s? There's not a lot of it. Piper Hughley has written some Great Migration stuff, but I think that's like 1910-ish. I don't know. Somebody's probably going to school me on romances set in 1920. So if you know them, if you know of any 1920s romances, please shout them out, because I would love to read them. I would love to read like about bootlegging ladies. Courtney says she thinks it's the opposite for her. She loves reading about American history now because authors tend to surprise her with new things. So see, I mean, maybe it's working. So, maybe people are realizing that like American history is really interesting and so diverse. And so, just chock full of little interesting nuggets about things we had no idea about. So I'm really glad to hear that. Oh, Becky just got the Alyssa Cole novella. Good. I think it's 1920s. And I'm pretty sure I've read it, and it's really good. I've read almost everything Alyssa has ever written, and I'm pretty sure I've read that, and it's really, really good. She's very talented. Okay, what else? Marielle says, I would read it, but I don't know what you mean about publishing taking on the 1920s right now. Yeah, I mean, publishing is, traditional publishing, I should say, is very stuck in Regency. So, you know, in the English stuff, which is fine. There's a market for that, obviously. There's a place for that. There's, you know, I have nothing against, I mean, like I said, I just finished Sarah MacLean's Brazen and the Beast. Like, I read stuff set in England. I love Kerrigan Byrne. I love all of her books. I love Lenora Bell. I love Megan Frampton. I love Sophie Jordan. I love, gosh, who am I forgetting? Tessa Dare. I mean, I love like all of those British, the authors that write British set historicals. But, you know, I just feel like, for me, it has to be an author I love or a plot line that I've never seen before for me to get really jazzed about it, because, you know, we've seen a lot of Duke stories. Nothing against the Dukes. So, and I just had a friend, my friend Diana Quincy, just sold a series to Avon that features a heroine who's Arab, and she basically has a one-night stand with a stranger, and it turns out that the stranger is the betrothed of her niece. So it's like an older woman, younger man thing. She's of a different ethnic background than he is. It's like a class thing. I've read it and it's really good. And she sold the first book she sold the series to Avon based on the first book. So I'm super excited about that. That'll be something different. Darcy Burke writes great historical romances, says Yvonne. I've never read Darcy Burke. I think I've met her many times, but I have never actually read her. So feel free to put your favorite one in the comments and I'll try and check it out. Yeah, that's not an author that I've read, but I certainly know her, and I know she's super talented. There's so many books. I don't know how we all get to them. And I'm like stuck rereading stuff because I don't have the brain power right now to focus on new stuff. So I'm reading old stuff. Does anybody other than me do that? Yvonne just made a suggestion for a 1920s series called the Untouchables series. I would like that.
I'm not finding
that just turned on my phone for some reason. I don't know why. I always feel like my Amazon devices are listening in on me at all times. I don't know if anybody else has them, but I'm sure they're transmitting back to Amazon headquarters, everything I'm saying. Yeah, the Untouchable series would be really good, wouldn't it? Or maybe it's the Touchables. I don't know. Would they be untouchable? We'd want them to be touchable, wouldn't we? I don't know. I'm not thinking it through. Oh, the Untouchable series is Darcy Burke's series. Oh, is it Regency? I have to look it up. I like the idea. Especially if it's 1920s. I would read that. Are they bootleggers? I know Jen Bennett's series, The One Heroine, I think is a bootlegger. Or has yeah, I think she's a bootlegger. It's really good. I can't remember the name of it, but all right, so have I covered it all? Is there anything else you guys want to know? Anyone? Excuse me. I don't know why I keep burping, and I apologize. I don't know why. I've just had a margarita and that's it. But I haven't even had one, so I don't know why. But I am almost done with my margarita. So anybody else have any questions? Luz says maybe it's time to bring romance to our history. I agree. I mean, that's what I try to do. is through the romance novels, you know, inject some history, some social consciousness. What are my comfort reads? Marielle wants to know. That is a good question. Can we go to the tape on this? Because I can tell you what I'm rereading. Right, like there are a lot of things that I reread. Right now I'm rereading Motorcycle Man by Kristen Ashley, which is a definite comfort read. I've really gotten into just like crazy, bonkers, bananas paranormal series, like alien series, like the Robin Levitt Sex Planet books are outstanding. I have started reading the Caveman Alien series, which is crazy and good. Desperate Measure. I mean, if it's short and it's crazy, I can sort of pick it up and read through it quickly, knowing that it's not a huge time investment. So that's, if I'm going to read something new while I'm drafting a novel, like for a comfort read, it'll be something crazy and it'll be something short. So that's why the Caveman Alien books were perfect. Ice Planet Barbarians was perfect. Prison Planet books were perfect. I read all that stuff. So, but I can just tell you by going through my list, I don't know if you guys have read this series, but it's the Breyer University series by Elle Kennedy. And it's a college hockey series. I just reread all of those books. It's The Risk, The Chase, The Mistake, The Score. It's Elle Kennedy is her name. It's the Breyer U hockey series. And I just reread all of those and I love them. Contemporary. It's it's like a college hockey team and they're, those are comfort reads for me. I'm trying to think what else is a comfort read. A lot of sports romances in my Kindle list. I guess which is why I want to write a baseball series. Yeah, what else? Yeah, it's a lot of crazy paranormal books and college hockey books. Luz wants to know, do I listen to music while I write? I don't. I cannot do it. I can't have any sound whatsoever. It's bad enough that I have to drown out my kids. Sometimes I will put on white noise if it's really loud in the house. Sometimes I will put on noise canceling headphones. I have really good Bose noise canceling headphones that I'll put on. That helps me just drown everything out when I'm actually writing. Now, if I'm editing or I'm page proofing or whatever else I'm doing, I can do that anywhere. It's really just when I'm drafting that first draft, I have to just have silence. Marielle loves that Robin Levitt series. See, you have good taste. You have good taste. Yvonne, she read Toxic Desire and is reading Captive Desire. It's so good. Those books are crazy, you guys, and I love every bit of them. Love it. I cannot recommend them enough. Basically, it's a sex planet, and the air is an aphrodisiac. So, they land on the planet. It's an alien and a warrior, like a intergalactic fighter woman and an alien, and they hate each other, and they land on this sex planet, and it's like, oh, now we have to have sex all the time, but I still hate you. That's the first book. It's so, so, so crazy and good, and I loved it. Okay, what else, you guys? What else? What else can I tell you? yeah, I don't know. I don't know what other, those are all my book recommendations. So I'll definitely post a photo of my Rita outfit once I have it together. I just ordered shoes today. I bought 2 pairs because I don't know what shoes I'm going to wear. So I will post a picture once I have it. For those in the New York area, I'm doing a live reading at Lady Jane's Salon in early August. And I guess I'll read something from Rogue of Fifth Avenue at that. That's, I think, Monday, August 5th. So I'll be in the city reading live. Somebody usually takes video, so maybe I can post that too. Then if anybody's also in the New York area and is coming to RWA, please say hi. If you're coming to the literary signing, that's on Saturday. Oh, I don't know. What is it? Saturday the 27th of July is the big literacy signing. So stop by and say hi. I'm not sure what books I'll be signing and selling. I know at the Kensington signing, which is free for those RWA members who are going to the conference, I'm signing Magnate for free, and I'm not sure what I'm signing at the Avon signing, and I'm not sure what I'm selling at the literacy signing, but I'll have, you know, probably 3 or 4 books there that are for sale. What else? Oh, then in October, for those in the Northeast, I'm doing an Avon KissCon in the Northeast, which is in October at some casino. Is it Mohegan Sun? I'm not sure. Yvonne asks, am I going to the COPA event? I'm going to the July 27th one too. What is COPA? No. COPA event. What am I not invited to? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what COPA is. I am hosting, I will also post live videos, hopefully, of this. I'm hosting a Gilded Age afternoon with Maya Rodale in New York City on Wednesday the 24th. And we're going to a private tour of the Players Club in downtown New York City. The Players Club is one of the oldest clubs in the city. It was founded in the 1880s, I think, by Edwin Booth, who was the brother of John Wilkes Booth, and who was a very famous actor in his day. And his bedroom, I'm told, was left untouched when he died, which I think was in the 1890s. So it's going to be very cool. I'm very excited. So we're going to go do a tour of the Players Club. Then we're going to go for a drink. We're going to give out swag. So that's my Gilded Age afternoon with Maya Rodale. So that is going to be fun. Now the COPA event, Yvonne asks, August 24th. I don't know what that is. COPA? I'm trying to work out the acronyms. I don't know what that means. I guess I'm not going. If I don't know what the acronym means, I probably wasn't invited. COPA, contemporary, or is it Colorado? Oh, Colorado, Pennsylvania? No, that doesn't make any sense. There's no Colorado, Pennsylvania event. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I don't, July 27th, if you're talking about RWA, I don't know what I'm doing that day other than, no, I have a workshop that morning, and then I have the literacy signing in the afternoon. That's what I'm doing on the July 27th. So if you're at RWA, Yvonne, please find me and say hi. August 24th. Yeah, I don't know what that is. All right, you guys, this has been fun. Oh, COPA authors in New York. COPA. What does COPA stand for? I feel really stupid. Is that a romance organization? Children's? No. Picture book authors? No, can't be. Now you've got me curious. I have to Google that. I don't know what that is. Okay, you guys. So I think that's probably all I can tell you. This has been fun. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Becky says, thanks for doing this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for asking questions. And I'm sure a lot of people, well, some people, maybe somebody will rewatch this and ask more questions, and feel free to leave questions in the comments, and I'll pop back in and try to answer them. Like, what was I playing with this whole video? It's a little tiny plastic push pen, and it's always by my desk, and when I'm writing, it's in my hand and I'm pressing it into the wood of my desk. This is like a terrible habit. It's always in my hand. It's ridiculous. Oh, Yvonne says she doesn't know what COPA means, but it's at the Hilton. I don't know. Are there free drinks? Can I just get in? I mean, I may go just for that. I mean, all right, you guys. So leave questions, comments here on the video. I'll try to pop in and answer them if there was something I didn't get to. I feel like I've rambled for an hour. So hopefully this has been interesting and informative. And as always, thank you guys for your support and enjoying the books and talking about the books and buying the books and reviewing the books and just caring. It means everything. Writing is so solitary and lonely, you guys, and it can be so just demoralizing. I mean, I have to tell you, like, it is a lot of time spent away from my family, from friends, my kids, my husband. It's not super lucrative. I mean, it is like a slog sometimes. And it's funny because I always, like, some days I just will text some of my author friends and I'm like, why are we doing this again? Like, why did I choose to do this career? But, knowing you guys are here and the support that I get in this group and online and Twitter and, Instagram and everything else, where you guys tell me how much you like the books, and I hear questions from you and I get feedback, and we talk about Sex Planet books and what I'm wearing to the Rita ceremony and everything else. It like makes me feel like it's not all in vain, and that it's, it makes me feel like it's worth it and it's fun, and I loved getting to know you guys, and that's it. Thanks for everything. I'm toiling away over here. I'm working away, so hopefully there'll be more stuff soon. And yeah, that's it. All right. Have a good night. Bye.